What's up, guys? Welcome to the Stats Free Sports channel. Let's get right into it. Let's talk about the Giants versus Panthers preseason game two, week two, game two for the New York Giants and the Carolina Panthers. But it's mainly really about Darren Waller and the New York Giants. Now, I'm not a Giants fan, but I'm a fan of the Falcons, but I enjoy watching and covering every team. That's why this channel isn't dictated just on one team, one player, whatever. I do every team. Whatever I find interesting, I go ahead and talk about it and I go ahead and cover it. And this Giants team is definitely dangerous. They're definitely a team that has to be trifled with. We all know their defense last year and this year, which is a little upgrade in the linebacker spot, and also added some more pass rushers and interior defensive tackles. Um, they got a big weapon on the offensive side of the ball also with Darren Waller. And Darren Waller kind of been written off the last couple of years. 2022, 2021 was kind of hurt for Waller. Well, he was hurt, but it was down years for him. As far as his 2020, 2019 seasons where he was a monster, where he was probably ranked for some people top two, top three tight end, probably closer to third, but Kittle had his injuries during that time as well, so you could have boosted him up to number two behind Kelsey. But overall, he's been a top three guy, at least in most people's views, since 2019, 2020 season. In 2022, 2021, he kind of had off years via injuries, hamstrings, knees, and so on and so forth. But when he was traded for a third-round pick this offseason, I wasn't shocked. Last year, I did a prediction around the NFL trade deadline of him going to the Packers. I thought he would have been a big upgrade for the Packers, especially with Robert Tonyan being hurt. I thought it would have been an awesome move. Reportedly, the deal was worked on, didn't come to fruition. So, he would stay on for the rest of the season. Packers didn't make the playoffs. The Raiders didn't either. So, all season came. I figured he'd be traded. I just redid the video. Not redid it, but I just doubled down on my video of him going to the Packers. He went to the Giants. Didn't really see that coming, and it was an awesome move. Him and the Giants and Daniel Jones looked fantastic last night. He only played one drive, but it's all we need to see, honestly. We can always speculate and guess and predict how things are going to work out, but when you see it in person, when you see it in actual, live game time, Waller is, if he stays healthy, which is a big if. As I said, last 2 years been kind of tough on him injury-wise, but if he can stay healthy for most of the season, and really when it matters close to the end of the season, the Giants are going to be a problem. They're going to be a problem, plain and simple. Daniel Jones has a bunch of weapons this year. Last year, he lost Galladay early. Lost a couple other guys early. Tony was traded. So, it was kind of like, man, who's going to step up? This year is like, who's not going to step up? You got Wan'Dale Robinson, Barkley, Waller, Jalen Hyatt now. Still got Slayton. Still have Hodges. It's like he still have Shepard. I'm like, good Lord. Daniel Jones got paid the money, and he's going to be, the way it looks to me, the Giants might be, favorites in the NFC East. And I know the Eagles are a super threat, but that Giants defensive line, and they strengthened the interior defensive line for a big reason. I love the move of getting Ashawn Robinson. They got Nacho from the Bucks. So they made some great moves. Got Lawrence Steele, Leonard Williams Steele. So they made awesome moves to shore up their front line with great players, good players, and also with some very good depth. So it's like, man, only thing I'm really concerned about is the Giants offense and the defensive cornerbacks. Those are the main two things. But as far as the offensive goes, if they can keep Waller healthy, and it's all up to just chance, all up to just luck. But if Waller can stay healthy and give Jones a safety blanket, because most quarterbacks, I'll say not all, but most quarterbacks need a great tight end or at least a above average tight end that can get them out of jams. And I feel like the Giants have no true star wide receiver. Everyone kind of sees that, but they have guys who can definitely make plays, speedy, yards after catch, all that good stuff. Great. But when it comes down to it, you need a yard or two. You're gonna need to pass the ball. I think Waller will be that guy to lead the Giants. If not, if teams do key on him, which is definitely possible, you got those speedy guys on the outside: Hyatt, Slayton, Shepard, Hodges. The list goes on. Wan'Dale Robinson, Saquon Barkley. in that running game or play action game or player not player option or in the option game. So the Giants have a very good offensive system. Brian Daboll is the head coach, put his mark on the team last year. Mike Kafka there now, or he's been there, but he's the O coordinator now. So these guys are gonna be in for a treat. This NFC East division could be, which is what it was a while back, a super tough division. Eagles, Cowboys, Giants, all are pretty well. Are pretty good teams. Probably, if you had to rank the NFC, they're probably all in the top six. No question about it. Eagles somewhere number one or two. Niners. That's it. You probably NFC East. Cowboys, Giants, Mike can throw in if you want. Me personally, I love the Seahawks. I thought they could be a possible threat. The Saints could be a possible threat, but if you rank out the top NFC teams, you would have to put probably three NFC East teams in that top six. And I think the Giants might be last in people's eyes right now as far as third place behind the Cowboys and the Eagles. But I could definitely see it being flipped around and being a little mix, a little mix up, a little shake up. The Giants could be number one in the NFC East when it's all said and done this season. So it depends on health. It depends on Daniel Jones' continue to strive to be better and to make great plays. It depends on Saquon being healthy also. That's a big thing. The Giants, for the most part, and a lot of teams, the Eagles, a bunch of teams for the most part were all healthy last year. Nothing really major happened to a lot of their players, so they went to the playoffs pretty pretty healthy, not pretty manageable health, pretty manageable roster. But some teams were devoid of some of their good players or some of their star players. So we'll see how this year shakes out. We know most of the time, knock on wood, but most of the time, if you're super healthy one year, the next season is going to come back and bite you. So we'll see how things go. I don't wish injury on nobody, but it's definitely something to take in consideration when you're talking about sports and stuff like that. So we'll definitely see. But Darren Waller's impact on the Giants, I'm not going to say he's quite the X factor. Other guys, some of the outside receivers, or one of the outside receivers could be that. Saquon could be that. I'm not quite sure. But I would definitely say he's probably the most important piece on the offense right now outside of Daniel Jones. He's the guy with the safety blanket. He's the guy who could keep his team alive 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5, and you can't run the ball, or you don't want to do a screen pass to Saquon, and you don't trust Slade, and you don't trust Robinson, you don't trust Hyatt or Hodges or whoever else, Shepard, and you need a tough 3rd and 4, 3rd and 3, 3rd and 5. Waller could be that guy, and 6'4", 235, 240. He's going to be able to post these guys up. He's going to be a great red zone target. You still have Bellinger, too, that's behind him. So he's also played pretty well last year, had some decent moments. So he could step in and well if Waller needs, a game or two off, keep him healthy down the stretch. You don't want to, I know people now and the way sports are, people don't think players are tough. I think they're tough. They're just being more smart about it. So if Waller does need to sit a game or two, a little bit banged up, could play if he needed to, but decided to take a game or two off, they'll definitely miss him. But Bellinger he's not trash. He definitely can make some plays and make things happen, but he's definitely not Waller. So, but he can definitely be manageable and play a game or two or three if need be to get Waller back to tip-top shape. Let's say scenario deep in the season and they're right there in the mix for the playoffs, have the division or have the wild card wrapped up and don't need Waller the last game or two. They could definitely choose to sit him out, rest him, and then have him ready for the first round or the second round, whatever, of the playoffs. So, but we'll see how everything shakes out. Long season is not even week 3 of preseason yet, so still a long ways to go, but I can tell you from just that little quick sample there, Waller and Daniel Jones are going to be a connection we're going to see a lot of, barring injury, clearly. So that's it for the video, guys. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. What's up, guys? Welcome to the Stats Free Sports channel. Let's get right into it. Let's talk about the Giants versus Panthers preseason game 2, week 2, game 2 for the New York Giants and the Carolina Panthers, but it's mainly really about Darren Waller and the New York Giants. Now,